is my first video. I'm here in some Shattered Pixel Dungeon. Pixel Dungeon is Shattered Pixel Dungeon is a improved upon version of the game, mobile game Pixel Dungeon, which is like a dungeon crawler, sort of roguelike in the aspect that each run is going to be different than the last in terms of rooms and layouts and the loot that you can find. There are seeded runs, but I won't be doing that today. Shattered Pixel Dungeon is just improved upon. It's a little bit better just in terms of like its game mechanics have been improved upon. It's still getting continuous updates. Pixel Dungeon is no longer getting updates, to my knowledge. We're going to start playing as the warrior. The warrior endures extra damage with his shielding, granted by his broken seal. The seal can be moved between armors and transfers a single upgrade. I have played this game a lot, so I do know basically everything that can be done in this game, but I am still learning new tricks as I play. So we'll get started here. The upper floors of the dungeon actually constitute the city's sewer system, as dark energy has crept up from below. The usual harmless sewer creatures have become more and more ferocious. The city has had to send guard patrols down here to try and maintain safety for those above. This was dangerous, but at least the evil magic at work here is weak. Oh no, oh that just gets rid of the... Okay. Got like large rats in the background here. Okay, there's two ways to control. You can use WASD to move, or you can point and click. I prefer point and click just because WASD you have to hit two of the same buttons at the same time to go diagonally, and diagonally saves time. So there is a timer system, so like nothing in the dungeon is moving, but if I take a step, you can see that move down there is showing that a turn is being made. So like if I move a couple, you'll see it turn a couple more times. Oh, that is a fun room. So we've got 3 rats. We're gonna have to fight all 3 to clear this room. This one's alerted because I got close enough with opening the door. These haven't been alerted yet because I haven't made enough noise. There's like a hidden stealth system in the game. Trick you can use is, if I go back now, the door has technically closed and reopened, and when the door reopens, when something walks through a door, it's got a guaranteed hit on it. So 2 damage is a guaranteed hit. I hit you for 1 because it took its turn the same time that I did. So click through. The rat dying does not automatically close the door, so this is not a guaranteed hit, so I'm actually going to regret going back there. The snake, if we look at it, sewer snake, these oversized serpents are capable of quickly slithering around clothes, making them quite hard to hit. Magical attacks or surprise attacks are capable of catching them off guard, however. So you can perform a surprise attack by attacking while out of the snake's vision. One way is to let the snake chase you through a doorway and then strike it just after it moves into them. See, it explains the mechanic there. I am going to take a couple hits from this rat just because I don't want to do that. Okay. This should be a hallway just from looking at this. It is not always going to be a hallway though. I'm just going to take the rest of that damage. Got a alchemist toolkit. Oh, I should have gone over what we start with. Every class has starting items. So we've got a worn short sword, the cloth armor, which has the warrior's broken seal attached to it, which grants some extra shielding when I get below half health. So if I reach 10 here, I'll get 5 extra shielding from this. But it did activate during that last fight. So I have to wait 137 which seems like a lot, but moving around each space takes a turn, and picking up an item takes a turn. So it's not actually that much. There is a rat moving, because we remember there was another rat in the room with the snake that was here. So this is a locked room. We'll find a key somewhere here, and we'll use that to unlock this door. There will always be a key with this kind of locked door. I don't want to just go sprinting around the corner, because the more I sprint, the higher chance that the creatures that I do not see right away before the game warns me about them will happen. So we know there's a rat on the other side of this. We just saw that. If I hit space, it waits a turn, so I just stand there. I don't move. And then I can take advantage of the free hit. And we're just going to do the same thing. Take corners wide so that I know what I'm running into. So like I don't know what the rest of this room is yet because I never came down here to turn that corner. There is one more rat. So I'm actually going to take this rock and throw it at it. Get his attention. Come back. Should be here. Wait a turn. Should we one of these two spots? Oh, he took an extra turn to get to me. So I was off by one space. So he's here, there, there, there. Oh, this is the key that we were talking about. I'm just going to go ahead and head there now. For the most part, this area should be clear. Oh, gold is useful because there is a shopkeep after every boss floor. And there's a boss floor every 5 floors. So on floor 5 of this area, I will run into a boss. And the bosses are always the same. Well, I've leveled up, so we can level up here. Each class has different level up, different skills to level up. And like at level 6, I'll unlock the second row. I have to defeat the second boss to get the third row. And then I have to defeat the 5th boss. Second, third. No, I have to defeat the 4th boss for the last one. Eating food heals the warrior for 4 HP when he is at or below 33 HP, so a third. This one just heals him if you're at low food when you eat. When any shielding buff applied to the warrior's weapon or damage, this next physical attack will deal 3 bonus damage. This is one of the better ones. This is also one of the better ones. Just because I don't find myself eating when I'm low HP. I generally only eat when I need to eat. Because it just feels like a waste otherwise. And then this one, he identifies armor faster. There are curses in this game, which it has a negative effect to your armor, or weapons, or like artifacts or anything else that you equip, and it can be a detriment. You can't take the armor. You can't take that item off of your equip slot unless you take the curse off with a disenchant scroll. I generally don't equip anything without knowing if it's cursed or not, so I'm not going to ever grab one of these. I think for now we'll go with the extra shield. Also, if you notice, by the time I'm down here, okay, the 137 turns are up. So I haven't even finished the floor and 137 turns are up. So I've got the shielding back from my broken seal. Okay. This is one of these special rooms. This room has these piranhas, which are awful to try to kill if you don't have a ranged weapon. And even when you have a ranged weapon, it could take forever to kill them. These rocks would not do it. I would not be able to kill all 3 piranhas with 3 rocks. It just wouldn't work. But what this room does mean is one of the potions that I've picked up throughout this floor is guaranteed to be an invisibility potion. I only have 1 potion in my inventory, so I know it's the invisibility potion. And I can drink it, come over and pick this up, and it shows you how many turns of invisibility that you have left. And you just walk back up without the piranhas ever waking up. Sometimes there are secret doors throughout the floor. I'm fairly confident that this was as big as this dungeon will be. So this floor will be. So I'm just going to go down to the next one. Next one, it's going to have a different layout, but still have the same kind of theme to it. Every 5 floors will have a different theme. rather sure. This one just means that there's a lot of holes. There's either a lot of holes or there's a way to... there's going to be a chasm room. And I'll show that when it shows up. With this many snakes, you're going to have to kill one and then just back all the way out. Oh, it's one of these there. So this is what it means. Generally, you'll find it where it's more like this, where it's enclosed like this. Some floors will have these bridges all across it, and that's going to be a chasm floor. We're going to get the rat's attention. Over here, get the guaranteed hit. Back. Gold keys will open gold chests, and that's what they're used for. They're specifically going to be gold chests that will have to have a gold key to unlock, and that is what... There's another one of the special rooms. I'm just in for one because I've played this game so much. I love this game. It's just a seed room. It gives you kind of a... you are blended by the shadows around you, granting you invisibility and slowing your metabolism. So I will accumulate food slower while in this room. An enemy coming in contact with you is just within the 8 spaces around you. So I'm not quite invisible per se, but I'm basically invisible. The little droplets I'm picking up. Don't know if I can just... I think this is gonna read it. Oh, can I do this? Yes, okay. That might have just been clicking. Yeah, okay. The water droplets, I'm filling this water skin. And once it's a full water skin, it acts like a health potion, basically. No, not quite like a health potion. Each water droplet has a set amount of healing. The more water is in here, the more healing it does. It doesn't necessarily consume all of it when I drink out of it. We've got our first tier 2 enemy. I'm just going to investigate that so you see it. It's a null scout. Simple as that. It's going to be a little bit beefier. There are brutes. There are brutes and shamans that we'll see on different tiers later on, but we won't necessarily see them right now. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little trick, go through the door, hit him. He will take generally less damage and hit harder because it is a tier 2 instead of just the rat. Okay, let's see. What I just stepped on was a trap that'll show up like this. This one was a summoning trap. The farther down you go, the more lethal these traps are going to be because they'll spawn more things and more dangerous things because obviously you're at lower levels. We got lucky with it only spawning one guy this time around. So I'll just go through the door. I also got lucky that he wasn't there to attack me there. So that's good. Okay. Go back and grab this book. Sometimes you'll notice these before the actual trap is triggered, and the game will stop you and be like, hey, wait, there's a trap here. Don't keep going. Kind of. This is another one of those special rooms. So there's a potion called a purity potion that makes it so that the poisonous gases and stuff don't affect you. So like that's a poison gas, the green one. So if I try to go in there, if I spend a turn inside the gas, I will take damage over time. And then over time, that damage will get worse. It's our gold chest. So all we need to do is click it now that we've got the gold key, and it will open. So we've got the sickle. It's a tier 2 melee weapon. The tiers go up as we go down. Same kind of thing with everything else. There's an armor list as well. Armor list is much smaller compared to the weapon list because a lot of weapons do different things. So it says this weapon is rather inaccurate, so it's going to hit less. It's going to hit less often. But normally the trade-off for that is it does more damage. If we look, my tier 1 is doing 1 to 10. This is doing double for 2 more strength, possibly 2 more. Sometimes these will be upgraded already. But because I don't know if it's cursed or not, I'm not going to equip it just yet. I also don't feel the need to, because we're not really far enough to be worried about my health or anything like that. So we killed that guy. I see the snake, so I'm just gonna let it get closer. Kill this guy then. This is kind of our food meter. There's not really a way to see how much food we need until this thing shows up. I'm going to now start taking starving damage because I am starving. Generally, these looking rations of food or this pastry will feed you for 2 levels. The starving and the hunger. So if I eat this, it goes away. I'm no longer starving. There's a way to combine other things later once we run into one. I'll show you. But for now, the pastry is more valuable because there's fewer of them. It's just it's a rarer item to see. Let me clear this room and then I'll talk about our little ghost guy there. I don't even know if I really want to try this. Turn around. Oh, this is one of those moments where there's the trap in time. Shocking trap. It'll shock you, obviously, and then paralyze you if it's on you for too long. So I'm actually going to try this. I think I'm far enough away. Yeah. So I used the trap against the enemies there. The shocking trap connects to the water, so everything in the water and around it will also get shocked. Look. Oh, we have a lot of potions to check. This is going to be annoying here in a second, because I want this room. Alright, we'll talk to this guy. These will show up randomly. They'll give you a quest to kill an upgraded enemy, depending on what level of floor you are. Floor 1 and 2 will be a rat. Different upgrades as we go up. Hello, warrior. Once I was like you, strong and confident, but I was slain by a foul beast. I can't leave this place, not until I have my revenge. Slay the fetid rat that has taken my life. It stalks this floor, spreading filth everywhere. But where its cloud of stink and corrosive bite, the acid dissolves in water. The enemy from this quest, I guess I'll call it, does not spawn until you talk to the ghost. So I could have explored this entire dungeon. Rat would have never spawned. This is a perfect opportunity to show we can see when doors are opened by other enemies. Even though we can't necessarily see them, we can see when the door opens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can actually get the jump on this enemy because I know they're coming. Should be coming in this direction. Yeah. This is the rat. If I stay inside this stink cloud, I'm actually going to get paralyzed. Can I show this in time? No, okay, it's gone. But if I stay in that stink cloud, I get paralyzed, and then he gets free attacks on me because I'm paralyzed. We've killed him. You used to have to pick something up to give the ghost, but because I don't need to pick that up, I can just go talk to him. He gives you a weapon and a armor choice. This is randomized. Sometimes it could be like a tier 5 item, and you're set for the entire run. Because I have the sickle, I'm going to just take the armor. And as you can see, I wasn't able to tell before, but it is actually it's a plus 2. That's really good. It's a plus 2 armor of repulsion. It is inscribed with a glyph of repulsion. This glyph rebounds force against the attackers, sending them flying back. This is ideally good in a ranged character build. I am melee, so it's not as great. But in levels like this, it would be especially helpful because I could knock things off the side. Accidentally passed instead of. This was a prime example of some secret rooms. I had no idea this room's here. Well, I actually might have. I know this room's here because this would not have shown up otherwise. Because I wouldn't have seen this wall. This wall would have been chasm if there was no secret room there. So now we go up to here and just start drinking potions. Start looking at this first one. This is strength potion, which increases our general strength by 1. I started at 10 and now went up to 11, which means I can equip this. Excuse me. This is also where it's going to prompt us to take the broken seal off of our previous armor and now put it on the new one. So Yes. So now, this armor also has the broken shield for the shielding. I still need to find the purity potion. I got lucky in the second one. I don't need to test any of the others. The second one was the purity potion. So I'm just going to go in here. Collect the 3 things. Stop on that spot as we go up, but generally you have just enough to go collect and then come back. I believe I'm done with this floor. Besides the random enemies I'm going to run into as I go back. And then we go. Another one. Now I'm going to take advantage of the door. Oh, that is a good point. Okay, repulsion will work if I'm trying to hit enemies at the door. If they get knocked back through, the door closes behind them. And then I get the door surprise kill. Oh, I did not spend my second level up, so we'll go ahead and upgrade the thing again. This floor is going to have a lot of water. That is sometimes bad. The piranhas can spawn outside of the... the piranhas can spawn outside of those big rooms that we saw earlier. This is a good point to talk about mimics. So, there's a couple things. I should have left that chest up actually to compare. Let me see if I can find another chest. These are another one of the special rooms. If you see these ashes, then there's going to be fire traps. So I'm actually going to press this twice just to search to see if there was a fire trap there. And then here, oh, there's one there. So I got lucky. There's a door here as well. This room generally is not great. All of these traps will activate multiple times, so I'm just going to collect the gold that is not on a trap. I can't get back there, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Even if I throw something to try to activate these, they should be poison death traps, right? Yeah. So it'll shoot at me. Anyway. Okay, we've got our next tier 2, I believe. Possibly tier 3. I guess it's probably high-end tier 3. But this one, when I hit it, will lose half of its HP and split into 2. I'm just gonna... It is technically easier if I try to separate them again and attack them again, but they don't generally hit for that much, so it's much easier to attack. We have a chest now, so we can compare the 2 chests. The difference between these, this is how you tell if it's a mimic or not. A, the mouth opens. If you're sitting idle enough, the mouth opens for you to see. You can kind of tell the little square for its lock is higher up on the fake chest. And, the biggest key point is if I go back through this door, it disappears. Because it is technically a creature, so I can't see it through doors. So I know that this is a mimic, even before I see anything else. We're actually going to go... I'm going to throw one of my rocks. Oh, and these weren't even fire chests. They were explosive traps. So I'm just going to do this to kill using the other one. It dropped some good stuff. Let's see, it dropped the Scroll of Rage, and it dropped the Quarterstaff. So I know this one isn't a mimic, so I can just collect it. Okay, just a rat. I'll just right here. Ah, there's our other tier 2. Okay. Crabs. Extremely fast. They are not fun to go against. They will move 2 spaces. So you see how he's 2 spaces behind? If I move back 1, he moves 2. You gotta be really careful about them. I believe he moved 2 spaces back, so if I just wait, close back through the door again. I did not mean to click. I didn't think he was gonna get repulsed again. I do have something coming in from behind me. There we go. This is one of those moments where I'm gonna move away because the fly actually split in a way that was going to attack me a second time. So I wanted to get away. We ran into a chill trap. That's just going to slow us down. If we stay in the little ice paths that it showed, it's going to fully freeze us and then lose some turns. I'm not super worried about this guy. I'm just going to throw a rock at him. Okay. Goodness, another trap. A hidden teleportation trap activates. In a blink of an eye, you are teleported to another location of the level that was there. Sometimes it is multiple times, sometimes it's one. If it's multiple times, it generally teleports to the same spot every time. So I'm just gonna kill this guy. There's not really a whole reason to run because I'm not gonna be able to escape really, make any distance. This is an interesting moment where there's a door here. So we know there's a room generally right here. The game will always try to make a loop. They'll always try to make a loop of some sort from one end to the other. So there's multiple paths you can take. I don't know where it's beginning. So we're going to, what's the letter for this? E, okay. So I'm going to search the walls to try to find the other door that leads to this room. It's going to be, so yeah, we found the other room, we found the key to this door. So we knew there was more to it because we have the key to it. I'm going to throw a rock at this guy. So he's going to get 2 spaces away from me. Go back. The door trick works. He got repulsed again. Okay. I gotta remember that I've got the repulse armor. It is sometimes easy to forget. Ooh, these one. This is a fun one. So I'm actually going to come back to this here in a second. I'm not sure if I'll use it for its intended purpose or if I will, or if I won't. Okay, so our inventory is kind of full. There's a couple key scrolls that we look at for having multiple around this point. This one, even though it's not identified yet, it is most likely a scroll of identification because you get the most of those. It could be a scroll of upgrade. I'm going to assume this element is a scroll of upgrade. So I'm not going to use either of these to get my inventory a little bit empty. I'm just going to use these. The first ones are generally fine to use. They might not have like some amazing effects, but stuff like teleportation and mimic. I'd rather have kept the mimic one, but the teleportation one isn't super useful to me. So we've got some options. Alchemy pot. There is a whole system to the alchemy. It is crazy. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So many different things you can do. I've only touched on some of them. There are so many that I've just not done yet. So this is an entirely new, like not entirely new, but like it's something that I haven't fully touched on. Like unstable spell. I've never made this. But I'm sure if I started making it, it would be somewhat of a game changer for me. It might make my runs a little easier. But generally I'll upgrade scrolls, I'll upgrade potions once I've got them discovered. Upgrade food, you want mystery meat here to combine into a meat pie. Meat pies give you like an extended health, like extended full health. So that's always fun. I will definitely be doing this one. So we've got this. We've got one of the bland fruits here. And I've got seeds. This is the best bland fruit I could make. The bland fruit with a seed of starflower actually makes a star fruit, which gives you a level up. So instead of just being food, I could eat this for food and level up once. So it's a free level up. It's amazing. One of the best ones you can get. From my inventory, I definitely want to use this. This is called a magical catalyst. It's basically, let me go out. Is there somewhere here that shows it? Probably not. Okay, let me back out so that we can read it. It's an item that makes a unique trinket. You get to pick 1 out of 3 or get a randomized one, I believe. Trinkets provide various different effects that slightly alter the dungeon or its inhabitants. Trinkets can be upgraded with more energy to make the effect more powerful or dropped to forgo the effect entirely. There are some that I don't like, just because I haven't really gotten the use out of them all the way. We do, however, need to turn like a scroll or a potion or these runes into energy so that I can upgrade that. So I'm going to do a Stone of Intuition. Stones can be very useful in a run. I have not done a huge job at figuring that out myself. So we've got 3. This one's new actually. I haven't played in a while, so this is like an entirely new one. Typically, this trinket will increase the amount of time before you grow hungry by 25%, but will also reduce your rate of health regeneration by 16% unless the floor is locked. I might pick this one up just because I've never done it before, but I'll show you the other 2 real quick. This trinket will typically this trinket will force cursed wand effects to become neutral or positive 20% of the time, and will cause uncursed wands to fire an additional neutral or positive cursed sap 12.5% of the time. So there is no downside to this one, but it's going to cost a larger amount of energy to upgrade. I had a note, typically this trinket will reduce your vision range by 12.5, but will also grant you mind vision on enemies within 2 tiles. So the first level, kind of useless, really just a detriment on this first level, because you can see farther than 2 meters, even with 12.5% reduced range. So it's not super helpful except for seeing through walls. But mind vision basically is obviously you see where creatures are two tiles out from you. Or I can pick a random trinket. I think I'm just going to go with the salt cube. I don't normally have a problem with this food, but sometimes it's a really big issue. And I don't normally notice a regeneration decrease, so we'll see. Also, upgrading this could potentially... Okay, so it reduces the regeneration by more, not by less with the upgrade. But it's increased the amount of time before you grow hunger by 50% instead of the 25. And then I'm sure it's 75 and 100% for the last one. Alright, we can go back to this other... Oh, stuff is dying. Yeah, so the copies that I made earlier are going around killing things that have spawned inside the dungeon. I think here, because I've got the star fruit, I don't really need to worry about this. So I'm going to take this. This is a here. It's a well. It's got the plus marks for health. Power of health radiates from the water of this well. Drinking from this well will clear your wounds, satisfy hunger, and cleanse curses from any more items. So I could equip both of these and see if it's a curse. I could actually equip all 3 of these and see if any are curses before I throw this in. I might do that. If I throw the water skin in, hold on. If I throw the water skin in, it'll fully fill the water skin up to 20. This early in the run, I don't really feel like I'm going to do that. So if any of this is cursed, there's a cursed item, so involuntarily tightens around the wall. So it's cursed. I can't drop it. I won't be able to unequip it or anything like that. This isn't actually a bad curse. If I could unequip it anywhere, that'd be fine. Being blinded is not necessarily a bad thing. It could get me to escape. But I'm just gonna go in there. Take all the curses off. I don't know if I can equip this yet, but since I know it's... Oh, okay. So my 3 was actually an upgrade scroll. So I have to upgrade something now. So I might as well upgrade this. And not upgrade anything else. And then I'll read... That's not even my... That's not even my identity scroll. I really thought that was going to be an identity scroll. Alright, sometimes, yeah, exactly. Sometimes you never know if it's going to be an identity scroll or not. This is the final floor before the first boss, so I'll probably end the video at the end slime guy. Let's see, it's just... Slimes take reduced damage, basically. Like they have a max amount of damage you can do. It died because my repulsion sent it into a wall, and sending stuff into a wall deals damage to it. I've missed 2 stars, so I'm gonna put this twice. Crab. Oh, I made it away. I'm just gonna... I did not want to move. Same thing goes for doors. If I run them into doors, they're going to get paralyzed for a round or 2. Kill this guy outright, because there's no use running from him. He will just catch up to me and I won't be able to do anything. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm going to run away from this fly just because there's a chance to detach multiple. It doesn't really do anything besides make them slightly weaker. It does look like the main body ran off though. We're going to go ahead and just read some scrolls. Transmute item. We will transmute this scroll. Okay. Pick up a new scroll. I don't have the space for this potion either. So I'm going to have to use another scroll here soon. This is a good time to learn. Normal enemies, besides magic enemies, will not drop anything but health potions. And I get to actually, I've already discovered them because I'm a warrior, but most of the classes don't automatically discover them. This, it's a cleanse. I'll just go ahead and cleanse the other weapon that I have. I would have rather kept that, but that's fine. Not hungry yet. It's a little annoying here. Do I know what this is? I don't think so. Oh, I do. Okay. Knowing it's a potion of strength, I don't waste any time. I just drink it. Later on, you might see me not drink one because you can make a higher tiered item way less by using a strength potion. Like an upgraded one. I'm just gonna wait for the slime to come to me and kill it. Ah, that's the exit. I just want to get this guy's attention. There we go. Here from right through the door. I've hit a teleportation trap. I won't be able to get through the door, unfortunately. Oh, now I can. Perfect. There we go. Have I picked up any other potions this run? I don't think so, not yet. So there's going to be a potion around here that gives haste. There's going to be a potion on here somewhere that gives haste, so we got to find that potion. And this is what I was talking about. It loops back around. So it looks like I don't need to find that potion. It is probably this blue potion I picked up. I must have picked it up earlier. I'd like to kill something. Yeah, it's one of those dangerous situations, but I was at full health, so I'm fine. Another crab. This is actually really good. I got a lot of farming in here. So like I'm already level 6. Generally you want to be even with the floor. So I'm level 6 at floor 4, which is good. I'm 2 levels above. I'm going to drop this, so I guarantee have the inventory for whatever's in this chest. So the only way to get past this sentry is with speed. So you have to have haste to get through it. It'll only activate on the wood. So like, doesn't activate. Now it's activated. The haste gets you out of there fast enough. I'll just drink this. Oh, poison gas. Whispers. I'm gonna read this. Okay. Just getting all the scrolls discovered while I'm just trying to get my inventory kind of sorted out. There's going to be stuff that'll fix my inventory later, but that is not right now. I'm just going to get the hearty meal because it's more useful than the armor. We are at our first boss. This is the main room. The main room for this first boss will always look like this. I'm going to try to find a loop because this boss is not one you want to just tank. Will die outright. Okay, so I've found a loop. There's generally a good amount of water. So this boss should be fine to fight now. What do I have for seeds? I have an ice cap. I can't really plant it there without having to walk through it myself. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to take this shuriken and throw it. Oh, this is new. What is this? Wait, what are all these? Oh, these are new things for me too. Okay. So shurikens instantly with... Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. That's a new... Okay. And if you notice, he's healing every turn that he's in water. So we want to fight him when he's outside of water, preferably. He started a charge up attack, so you have to get out of range. He started the charge up attack. Now he's in range. That charge up attack will go faster. So I want to get out. I did get out. Okay, that's good. I don't really want to fight him here, so I'm just going to walk all the way through. It's a little annoying that there's water here. But I can throw this at him. Range. Throw the next one. Just trying to get some extra damage in. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't stay at that door because he will just charge me. He is not taking damage. I'm just gonna walk over there. There we go. So killing him, drop that. Dropped this boss key. And it just lets you go to the end of the level. It just lets you go to the end of the level and not worry about anything else that's happened on this floor. So this will be the exit. This boss floor, however, will always have a secret. There is a secret room that will always spawn in this game, or in this floor, and it is this. It's not super big at this moment, but there's a secret that you can do later that I won't get really big into now. If this series becomes a thing, I will probably get back into it. Because we're starving, I'm going to eat this. Counts as a full food because it's a star fruit specifically, and I leveled up. So now I get to look at these next levels. The warrior gains 6.5% of his max HP in shielding when drinking or throwing a potion, brew, or elixir. And it increases to 10% on the second level. Doubled when I use a potion of strength, experience, or crafted potions. This one I might pick up because it'll grab this glyph right away the next time I want to change it to a different armor. Killing enemies will take 0 turns. Not bad. This I don't think I've ever used. It's decent though. It blinds enemies if I throw stuff that's not supposed to be thrown at people. And then resistance when eating. Again, I'm not going to be eating while fighting. I'd rather just hit and hopefully kill the thing. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do this first one. You can talk to this guy. He goes, I'm not sleeping. What is it? I have no time for this nonsense. My kingdom won't rule itself. And then he just sprints off. Does his own thing. He doesn't care. He will block your path though, if given the chance. Because he is a rude butt. Explore the rest just to see if there's any bushes to get more levels, and we'll go to the next floor. Many years ago, a prison was built here to house dangerous criminals. Tightly regulated and secure, convicts from all over the land were brought here to serve time. But soon, dark miasma started to creep from below, twisting the minds of guard and prisoner alike. In response to the mounting chaos, the city sealed off the entire prison. Nobody knows what became of those who were left for dead within these walls. Skeletons are going to be the major tier 1 enemy of this floor. We will see a lot of them. This little art for the floor is very prison-y vibes, obviously. This is where I will call it for now. I don't have it in me to do this for too much longer. This will probably be the first episode. I hope people enjoy this. This game is not super popular, but I enjoy it. I enjoy playing it sometimes. There's still some achievements that I'm trying to get. So, until next time.